Every year there's thousands of exchange students going from Germany to the United States of America, 275 of which go with the Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange. I am a part of that. Ever since I've been watching and seeing exchange students leave for the United States and do an exchange year there, I've been wanting to do it myself. And this year, it's finally my turn. But before I could really start my exchange year, I had to somehow get over here. The journey started in Butzbach, about half an hour from Frankfurt Airport. From Frankfurt Airport, a 9-hour flight brought me and a few other participants into the United States, specifically Chicago O'Hare Airport. There, we'd split up and spread across the country. For me, the journey went on to Minneapolis Airport. And from there to Grand Forks in North Dakota, where my host family would pick me up. Step 1 for that trip was to pack my suitcase and get my luggage ready. Step 2 was to wake up really early. Good morning. It is now 5:30 and I just woke up. Good morning. It is now 5:35 and I'm getting ready. Ooh. And after I had successfully completed that step and we had some breakfast, we were finally ready to go to the airport. We're actually leaving now. How do you feel?
Excited.
I can't believe this is actually it. We're actually leaving now. It's like, I'm only just realizing I won't be seeing this place for like 10 months.
Und du kannst sie an achso, für dich hätten wir vielleicht noch eine mitnehmen sollen, ne? Irgendwie, Silas. Hätten wir für dich noch irgendwie eine Wasserflasche mit?
And she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. This is Niels, by the way. He stayed the night at our house because it was easier to get to Frankfurt Airport for him that way. He's on the program with me and going to some kind of suburb in Texas, which he calls rural, and that's a blatant lie.
Luftfahrer, Luftballonfahrer.
We're at the airport now. It's getting real. It's getting serious.
I'm excited.
Junge, people must think I'm crazy.
Einfach so.
Oh.
9:15 Uhr.
Okay, so we checked the bag now, and I got my boarding pass, and now we're pretty much ready to go. How are we feeling from leaving?
Wonderful.
I don't know. A little bit sad.
How are we feeling?
Sad, and I'm gonna miss you.
And after I had said goodbye to my family, I was now all on my own. I was pretty much a criminal on the run, as you can see. Gladly, I found Niels again, but he was almost through the passport check already. So there I was, all on my own yet again, with nobody that could help me if the officer decided I was not good looking enough to pass. But luckily, I brushed my teeth that morning, so my smile was convincing enough. Oh, and I also made it through security, but I wasn't allowed to film there. We made it through security, let's go. Now it's time to spend money. No, it isn't Silas. Do you really think I'm just going to let the airport rip my money off with their exorbitant prices? Not today. So instead of wasting money, I decided to immediately head to my gate. Well, with a short stop at the bathroom. They checked my boarding pass, and the guy there asked me if I had the permission to film when he saw my camera, and I couldn't figure out whether he was joking or not because he was laughing, so I just told him I wasn't filming at that moment, and he let me pass. Well, I eventually got to the gate and met the other participants that were flying that day, along with Marlene, who I was going to sit with on the flight. And whether you believe it or not, she stole my camera and started filming. What a criminal.
Mal her, Leutis. Okay. Danke.
Muss es nicht eigentlich andersrum sein, wie ihr geht, wenn man so steht oder so?
Warte, eigentlich müsste ich stehen bleiben, oder nicht? Ja, egal.
Das ist der, du gehst mit dem Knie nach hier und dann gehst du ihn so rüber. So. Ey.
Ich glaube,
Okay, Leute, das ist doch... Our boarding came to an end as it was finally time to board. And for some reason we got in line to board with the first in business class, but nobody said anything, so we were good. And early on the plane.
das ist hier der VIP-Parkplatz.
Die Luft geupgradet? Nee, aber trotzdem nicht vom Economy Class, weil das ist grün. Dankeschön.
Seid ihr nicht auch First Class? Gering verdienen.
Okay, enough of the bad jokes. It was now really time to board the plane.
Hallo, morgen. So, das ist 14 K, zweiter Gang nach rechts bitte.
Okay, Dankeschön.
Gerne. Herzlich willkommen. Hallo, herzlich willkommen. We had finally made it to our seats, and after a little while, the safety video came on, which low-key made me want to go down the emergency slide. Just look at how much fun that looks like.
Leave your hand luggage on board.
Not long after, this absolutely delicious 5-star meal was served. After that, Marlene and I opened and looked through our goodbye presents. Those were really, really touching. Thank you again for those, really.
I was trying to make sure Niels was good all alone in the back of the plane. But he wasn't even there. We had lost Niels. Did he even board the plane with us? Is he in the bathroom? Did he go back home? Where had Niels gone? He was lost. Anyways, we got ourselves some coffee and water and tomato juice. I had heard it tastes really good when you're flying on a plane because science does something to your taste buds. So I demanded Marlene and I try it. Lars was curious about what we were doing, so he came to our seats and gave us a hand with properly seasoning the exquisite beverage.
Du hast den ganzen Pfeffer reingehauen?
Das schmeckt dann auch bestimmt. Und soll die Farbe so ein bisschen ändern? Und? Ja, mal probieren schon.
So lecker gleich.
Keine Taste like Pizza. True. Also wirklich. Ja, wirklich. Man denkt, man trinkt eine Pizza, Bro. Das ist ein bisschen flüssiger und trotzdem ist ganz nice eigentlich. Ist witzig. Ja.
After the tomato juice tasting was over, it was time for more food, or whatever you want to call this. And more Coke, of course. I mean, we still had a jet lag to fight.
Dankeschön. Ich auch gerne. Das wäre super, danke.
Not so long after that, we landed in Chicago, even though it felt like we were touching down on some kind of lame suburb. I mean, look at this. You wouldn't think you're in Chicago.
Ja, ich finde es auch ganz seltsam. Ich denke mir die ganze Zeit, da wohnen Leute direkt. Okay, ich glaube, wir landen gleich. Let's go.
Once again, thank you very much for our guests today. Goodbye und auf Wiedersehen.
And because we're from Germany, you already know we had to show the pilots and the cabin crew our appreciation for the pleasant experience. We had to start clapping.
Yeah! Let's go!
And as we were deplaning, we received the last warning.
Haltet durch 10 Monate. Ich würde eine Macke kriegen, aber okay. Haltet durch.
Danke, wir bleiben tapfer.
But it was too late to turn back now, so we took our first few steps.
Wir sind in Chicago. Sagst, ich bin echt Filmprofi. Nicht so, dass ich gerade einfach nur deinen Rucksack gefilmt habe.
No, Marlene, you were essentially our Buzz Aldrin. This was important. It was a small step for man and one giant leap for, well, never mind.
Okay.
The next step for man, or at least us, was customs. Even though the lights make it seem like we're at an indoor swimming pool. To get through, we had to fill out a form on the plane declaring what we brought into the country and plan on leaving there. I was exactly at the limit of $100, so I didn't know if they were just gonna let me pass like that or check again. As we got further and further to the officer, my uncertainty grew, until it was my turn. But we all made it. I was now in the United States of America. After that, everybody got their luggage. Everyone else could just check their bag through where we were, so I was pretty much the only one with my big suitcase and my little one, both in my hands, to check them at the other side of the airport. Finally, some semi-fresh air. Freddie wanted to flex for the video, and I could not grant him this wish.
Natürlich. Okay,
Es ist so ein Abfuck, dass ich diesen Koffer noch habe.
es wird schon. So fühle ich mich auch. Es wird schon. Wir haben noch genügend Zeit. Alles gut. Es ist Wahnsinn.
Of my 6.5 hour overlay, 3 hours had been already wasted with getting to my gate. I could finally get rid of my suitcase again, but this time for longer than expected.
Chicago.
Anyways, we went through security and had our 4th meal that day at Chili's. We shared a chicken sandwich and fries.
Let's go.
After freshening up and exploring the terminal for a bit, we decided to sit down and have a break in an empty corridor.
Jetzt aber voll schief, gell? Ah. Okay.
Ich bin so exhausted.
Wirklich.
Almost empty at least. She brought me to my gate and we talked for a bit, until to our surprise Annalena showed up. She had the same flight route and connecting flights as me, as we're placed only half an hour from each other. And then it was time to say goodbye to Marlena, which made me kind of sad, considering how much fun we had and realizing that I wouldn't be seeing her for probably a year. But our adventure had to go on. We boarded our flight to Minneapolis, which was pretty boring and only consisted of me listening to music.
Descend into Minneapolis. Show all of your fingertips are properly stowed and fasten your seatbelt. This aircraft is equipped with high-speed Wi-Fi, so you may continue to enjoy it until we park at the gate.
Then our 2-hour overlay in Minneapolis began. It was boring and we were exhausted. There is really no better way to say this.
Ey, das stimmt halt.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention also encourages face coverings.
Junge, das ist voll witzige Ausnahme.
We talked and snacked and talked and snacked. Then boarding started, and it was the worst flight I've ever been on. The plane was so small I could literally not walk up straight. I listened to music again and almost fell asleep a couple of times, but I still had that jet lag to fight. I could not give in. Oh, and this is just a random shot of a city which I thought could have been Grand Forks, but it turned out to be a random town. Then we landed and deplaned.
Grand Forks, baby. We made it. Exit. Okay.
How did we not see this was the exit? I have no idea, but I'll just blame it on our tiredness from being awake for over 24 hours at that point. Then we went to baggage claim, but it turned out my suitcase was still in Chicago, so I had to leave without it. I met my host family and we drove another hour to get to my new home.
And now, I'm here.